I'm learning technology here. We're going to be super loud today. I'm going to preach with 2 mics. No, I'm kidding. It is my joy and my honor to introduce someone to you today who is going to tell us a little bit about some ministry. In fact, you've heard a little bit about their work as we talk about missions and the missions we support here at First Assembly of God. We're blessed to have Becky Donavan, who is the executive director of the Palmetto Pregnency Center here in town. She is with us today to speak a little bit about what they do. They are a long-standing ministry. They have been saving babies since 1985, which is a good year because that was my year. But anyway, so Miss Becky, if you would come, please tell us all about the work.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you. I'm so pleased that you invited me here today, and Spirit is here. And I was praying this morning on my way in that the Lord would show himself. And he answered that. And I just want to thank you. I know there's several in here, at least, I mean, there might be many more that I know have volunteered, have donated, and pray for the Palmetto Pregnancy Center. But I just want to let you know that this worship service this morning and all the healing here this morning, it's like I was asking God, Lord, if there's anything different that you want me to speak about than what I had prepared, please show that to me. And he basically was showing me that there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. There's a lot of women and men out here in York County that are hurting. And it's kind of a hurting that they don't want to talk about. And what I'm talking about is, and I got it on my table out there, all about sexual healing, any kind of sexual hurts in the past, any kind of abortions, women who have had miscarriages, and just those kinds of hurts that women are afraid, and men are afraid to come out with. And people in the church, they're afraid of being judged. And we've been getting a lot of training on this lately. And it's just that we all have hurts. We all have brokenness. And that's where we know the Lord wants to bring us to, is to a broken place in our lives where he can just use us. So when we talk to women in our center, we just tell them, you know what, but God's going to use you in a mighty way. He's going to use you if you come out with it and get healed. And he is going to use you in a way that you would never dreamt. And then the other thing I want to talk about is young people. You got a great big youth group here. And one of the things that we've been wanting to put our armor on, we put our armor on every day at the Pregnancy Center because we know we are in battle against a huge Goliath. And the Palmetto Pregnancy Center and all the other pregnancy centers across the country, there's about 1,300 when we go to our conferences each year. There's over 1,300 pregnancy centers represented, and they're growing. And we are hated by Planned Parenthood, so we put our full armor on every day. And one of the other things that we're talking about recently, though, is not only healing from past hurts, but also to prevent hurts with our young people now. And we want to get into our schools and talk to our young people and talk to the parents of our young people and talk to our churches of how we can get together and talk and learn and help prevent our young people from getting hurt, and how they can make better choices, and how they can know what a healthy relationship looks like, and what true marriage looks like. Everybody knows, I think, in this room, how marriage is being devalued and how family is being devalued, let alone babies, how they're being devalued. And I always like to tell young women, especially when a young man's with them in the center, that she is like this beautiful, precious gift. And sometimes you see this gift sitting under a Christmas tree for a month. Some people are very early in wrapping their gifts, and you're very tempted to shake it and open it up and see what it is. I even had a sister one time who confessed to me that she opened up her gift that her husband gave her, and it wasn't the watch that she wanted, so she went and exchanged it and got the one she wanted, put it back in the box, and rewrapped it. Well, but we don't want our young people to think that they can just be rewrapped and be that way. I mean, they can be, and they're still precious in God's eyes, but I want young men to know, and women to know, that you are a beautiful, beautiful gift, and you are worth waiting for that husband. You are worth. He is the one that should be able to pull that ribbon off and see you and have you. And that's what we're trying to show our young ladies and men. And I've had some young men, big alligator tears come down his cheeks when he heard that, because I think he believed it and he knew it. And so how you can be a blessing to other, I guess I'm speaking to you guys right now, that you can be a blessing to other young people, that they can see what you're doing and that you are saving yourself. And even if you haven't and you've made a mistake, because we all sin, right? And but all we have to do is ask the Father for forgiveness, and whoever else might be in your life that you want to ask for forgiveness, and say, you know what, I'm going to dedicate my life, and I'm going to wait now for that special someone that the Lord has in mind for me. And then you have other young people that are going to be looking up to you and saying, I want what she has, or I want what he has. We've all seen celebrities and sports figures out there that are showing their faith and showing their stance on abstinence and saving themselves. And so we just have to remember that there are people out there, and we just have to be brave and bold and do that. And God will reward you so much, and he will. And just pray for that God would have that person ready for you. And just to give you a few statistics, but that's what was on my heart, is about the healing and preventing hurts and brokenness that can come from premarital sex or someone harming you sexually, that God's going to use it for good. And let me just read you a scripture that I read this morning that God just revealed to me, that, if I can find it here. This is what the Pregnancy Center is about. This is from Paul in 1 Corinthians. For a wide door for effective work has opened to me. And I'm going to say for us at Palmetto Pregnancy Center. And there are many adversaries. And I just want you to know that we feel the tension. People in our center feel the spiritual warfare. We feel the tensions. We know, and we read about it. And knowing that we are fighting a huge battle. And we are knowing that we've been reactive for many years at the center and being there for women and men when they come in and have a need and are confused and they're scared and that they're pregnant, and that the first thought that comes across their mind is abortion. And then if they say it to somebody else, and then other people sometimes can feed it, non-Christians, or they might call Planned Parenthood and they try and convince them, yes, that's the best route for you. But we want to know that, I want you to all know that we don't want to be just reactive. We want to be proactive. We want to be more than proactive. We want to be out in the community, letting people know about us and letting them know that we are facing a huge battle, and that we want them to be on board with us. We need all your prayers. We need your volunteer time with us to help us accomplish all the things that we want to do. So we have received a wonderful grant from Springs Close, and they presented it to the Fort Mill Pregnancy Center, but we want to go into the schools, and we have an intern right now that's putting in 200 hours, plus we have a couple staff members that are meeting with her once a week, and we are putting together that curriculum to go into the schools and talk to the kids, and we want teachers to know, we want the parents to know. That's another program. We want to get parents and churches involved, and then we would sit down and talk with them about the talk, how to do it with your children, and then we want to have mommies and daughter teas where after they've read this book and learned, and come together and have a tea at our center and learn how they can be an advocate in their school, or and we want to touch middle school, high school, and then the universities. And we have to go into the middle schools. I mean, now these days, that's almost too late. And so I just want you to know that how you can be praying for us, how you can be coming and volunteering with us, how you could be a donor and be a circle of blessing. There are some cards out on the table, and it's called a circle of blessing. On one side, it talks about how you can donate with us, and the other side is how you can volunteer with us and how you can pray. And then I also have our annual ministry report out there, and it tells you a really good picture of how we started, when we started, what we're doing now, what our free program consists of. Our stats for 2015 is on here. It tells you how much money came in, how much money goes out, and how you can make a difference. And so I'm just asking that you would all continue to pray and ask God how he can use you at the Palmetto Pregnancy Center, because we're not just helping women in their brokenness at the time, but like I said earlier, we want to help them prevent that brokenness that comes with the unplanned pregnancy, sexual abuse. I mean, it happens all the time. 1 out of 4 women, we take statistics, has been sexually abused. And so many times they just hold it in and they hold it in. A woman who has had an abortion, 1 out of 6 women in South Carolina have an abortion. And I have a display out there. It's a real good visual. It's women don't want to talk about it. That is inside them, and they don't want to talk about it, but it eats away. And that is what causes so many of our young people and older to use alcohol, drugs. They have suicidal thoughts because they're holding it inside. And our desire is for the women and the men, because wherever there's a woman that's had an abortion, there's a man. And we have sexual healing Bible studies. We have post-abortion Bible studies. And our desire, God's desire, is for everyone to be healed from these. So how I saw these people here being healed from probably who knows what, but my heart was just bleeding for the women and men that are hurting inside and are scared to come out with it. But I'm praying that they will come, and I ask for your prayers for that too. I thank you so much for your time.